Well, I'm going to be driving a couple hundred miles this weekend and also autocrossing, and my brakes are overdue for changing, and my oil is also overdue for changing. So, this fat stack of bullshit is going to help us out here with both of those things. Yeah, so we got rotors, pads, oil, filter, brake clean, shop towels, and a filter off a truck, or an MG maybe. I don't know, it's pretty big. We don't need this. Let's get cracking. Since we're doing brakes, you gotta take the wheels off, and since we're doing wheels off things, you're gonna want to loosen them while it's still on the ground. Do that more times than one.
Under my wings, I can feel the air pulling me up as I leave you there. Return to the feeling, I can hear them say, written like a poem, but with broken wings.
Gotta take your nuts off. Ta-da! Shit's off. Put that right there. That's a good place to put it. Never mind. Don't put your lug nuts back on. You're gonna need them off because that rotor's gonna have to come off. Now, for this part of it, you've got to pull part of the caliper off, and the slider pins are the bolts that hold it on. And I don't know about most cars, but on a Miata, there are two different sizes. The top one's a 14 and the bottom one's a 17, so just break those loose. That was really tight. Right. Be careful with these. Put them somewhere you won't lose them. It's never a bad idea to have a bit of this blue shop towel on hand, and it is a good place to put your nuts and bolts so they don't get lost. Now that's done, just sort of pop this off. There we are. Don't lose your trouble light, because that would be bad. Set this out of the way where it won't fall and won't put any strain on the brake line, because that would be bad. Your pads should just pop right out. There's still a whole lot of pad on there, but they're pretty gross and they're cheap pads, so they're being replaced. And there's the other. And now this all comes off, and more importantly, now this just pops off. And that's that. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Set that aside. Could have worn gloves, but, you know, YOLO and all. For lack of having anything else sharp, getting out the fillet knife to open these rotors. And I'm not actually sure which ones are the front and the rear. Never actually bothered to ask. Probably a bit of an oversight on my part. Be fucking careful with knives, especially really big sharp ones like this. Some redneck is going to comment, oh, that's not a big knife. I'll show you a big knife. Just show me a fucking broadsword or something. I don't care. This looks like the rear to me, because this is not vented. That's a solid. So, I mean, this one and that one are rears, and I need to find a home for them. Okay. Take this, and just figure out fucking pop this bag open. Yeah. This knife is sharp as fuck, dude. This is dangerous. Why do you have this laying around? Ta-da! Look at how nice and shiny, and you think it's clean, but it's not. And we grab our can of off-brand brake clean. Maybe I should pull this out a little bit. And, you know, just fucking hose it down. Wow, this shit really splatters. That's what you get for going with the cheap shit. Oh. Oh, what kind of smell is that? Oh my god. Ugh. That's really horrible. What would you call that smell? It gets worse. Oh, I am not buying this again. Anyway, there's a protective coating on here so they don't rust or something, and if you don't get that off, that protective coating will make you not stop. So, that's obviously not good. They're like individual clips, isn't that weird? I'll just read the instructions here and fucking... So we'll just bring our bag of fun over there with us. Grab a couple of pads, because as far as I can tell, they're all the same. And if they're not, well, shit. Just put this right on there. Oh, I dropped it. I like to grab my nuts and use those to hold the rotor on. See, now it's not going anywhere. And I'll use two, just for extra security, you know. It's always a good idea to have two nuts. Now we get back to this bracket here, and it's usually kind of a shit fest. So you see these get these little clippies here, and they just sort of pop on there and fit all the little curves there nicely because it's like it's made for this or something. And you just slap the other one on the other side. There's one side done. Alright, now that that's all together, we are ready to think about putting some stuff back in. So when you're doing brakes, generally speaking, this piston is going to have to go back in. And to do so, the easiest way is just to take one of the old pads, set it right there, grab your handy C-clamp, which is way too far out, and twist it down. And that's that. Now your piston's all the way back in. Set that back over there, out of the way. Think about it in a couple minutes when you need it again. But I do like to do things before I need to. So what you'll want to do now is get your little ketchup packet of grease here, and there are arguments about which parts of the brakes you should grease. It's not a bad idea to grease different parts. It's just, you know, personal preference for the most part. Just make sure there's some grease on there, otherwise you're going to have a lot of noise. So, now that you've got everything ready, you might as well just stick this back on, since the pads are going to go into there, and it's a whole lot easier if this is on the car. new brake pads here. And I don't know, I kind of like to grease the ends where they slide around in the thing, the caliper, on that little bit of stainless steel. And I like to grease the back of the one that's going to touch the piston. So you get your caliper over here, and you put it in place, and you make sure everything is good and greasy. Now, I like to just take the top slider pin and basically just stick it in there so it doesn't move around, so the caliper doesn't fall off, so that you don't have to fumble with that while your hands are covered in grease and a bunch of other bullshit. And you want to pop open your little tub of grease here for wheel bearings or disc brakes or what have you. Just get your slider pins nice and messy. Get them good and lubricated. If these things seize, you'll either have no brakes or locked brakes, so they should be pretty fucking greasy. There is a torque spec for these, but the torque wrench doesn't fit in here, so it's like, it kind of varies, I guess, depending on where you get it from, but it's something between 30 and 60, which is pretty broad, but we'll just give it the, give it some gusto and hope it doesn't fall off torque spec. There's one at least, so I can take these back off, and I think we're going to have to probably bleed these after we get all the rest of them done, huh? Oh shit. Okay. Make sure your parking brake isn't on, or you'll stretch the cables and hate yourself forever. Yeah, so you can't really see it, but inside there's a little screw. So you find out what fucking size of Allen wrench that is, and you go at it with that. So now that you've got this goofy little 14mm cap out of the way, you're going to want to take your 4mm hex key and stick it into the hole that was covering, and turn it, and that will back the piston into the caliper. And this is a strange design, but I guess that's how it works. So I'll just do it, and shit did. Yeah. It's got 4 new rotors, 8 new pads, oil change, the gaskets in the exhaust. Didn't get to wash it because it's 11 p.m. Maybe tomorrow. Whatever. Yeah, this is great. Next time, we don't really have any plans next time. We'll probably shoot some video of this weekend. We're gonna go make a long drive to an autocross event with some friends. It'll be pretty fun, weekend long. I can't really, I want to tell you what we're gonna do, but I'm just waiting, so maybe something. Oh yeah, we're getting brakes for the Z soon. That should be really fun. I want to get stainless brake lines under this, but that'll probably happen when I get proper braking. So at this point, I'm just rambling, so I'll let you go back to your daily lives and stop watching stupid videos of me doing useless things on cars. So you guys have fun. I will see you next time.